Hey everybody, my name is AJ Forbes with BarnBurner Sports, and I am joined today by Noah Ambuehl. Noah has joined the team here at BarnBurner Sports as a subsidiary with BarnBurner Bets. BarnBurner Bets is our sports betting division. Sports betting is a very diverse and expanding industry in sports. And so I figured we'd get somebody who's experienced in sports betting to join the team. So Noah, welcome, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be a part of the team finally. We're learning as we go with BarnBurner Bets at the moment. Right now it's just MLB season and it's a lot of games, a lot of stuff to look at. So we're just feeling our way around and trying to figure it out as we go a little bit, but we're excited to be here.
Yeah. So speaking of MLB, so this show, it's just a quick rundown of who we think is going to win what during the MLB season. It's All-Star break, so this is a perfect time to look at everything that the teams have done so far this season and everything that the players have done so far this season, and really start giving people the kudos that they deserve. So Noah, your pick for the AL pennant is who?
I mean, right now it's the obvious choice, I feel like, with the Yankees. I mean, they've been dominant all year, hitting the ball well, lead the league in home runs and RBIs, third in ERA as the pitching staff. I mean, this team is just stacked, just all the way top to bottom. There's no easy out in that lineup at the moment, besides the hot and cold bat of Joey Gallo at times. But that's what they traded for when they got him.
Yep.
So I mean,
yeah,
that's my pick. And
yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the Yankees, sadly, I'm a Mets fan, so sadly, yeah. I think the Yankees have been they've been the most dominant team in baseball. Yeah. I think they're one of the more complete teams in baseball, like you said. They lead the league in home runs and RBIs, and they just finished out their series with the Red Sox, and they won both. The last two games they won both by like 14-1 and 13-1. Yeah. So I mean, there's not a lot of arguing there when it comes to the best team in the AL right now.
No, and I hate to say it too, because I mean those Yankees have given my Mariners nightmares for years with taking A-Rod from us, beating us in the playoffs, so we win 116 games in the first round. I mean, it pains me to say it as well. I understand.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it's their pennant to lose at this point.
For sure. The only way that, I mean, if they go on a cold streak, a team like the Astros come up from behind, and I mean the Astros are probably the most playoff experienced team in the AL still to this day, and I mean their pitching staff second in the MLB. I mean they got every opportunity to get up there too, but like you said, it's the Yankees all the way right now.
So as far as the National League goes, like I said, I'm a little bit biased. I'm a New York Mets fan, but I do believe that the Mets have a great opportunity to win the NL pennant right now. I do believe that they're probably the second best team in the NL right now, right behind the LA Dodgers.
Yep.
Right. I feel like if you ask anybody on the street who's going to win the NL pennant, they're going to say the Dodgers. Their payroll is through the roof. I think they have the most wins in the NL right now.
Yeah, they do.
They have all-star upon all-star upon all-star. But I do think what's crazy to me is that the Mets haven't been 100% healthy all year. Probably the best pitcher in baseball is Jacob deGrom, and he hasn't pitched an inning yet.
Yeah.
And I think when he comes back and joins Max Scherzer, who's averaged 10 strikeouts a night ever since he came back from his rehab assignment, I think they're gonna make a run.
I mean, I agree. And Pete Alonso would be kind of a sneaky pick for a dark horse, even for the NL MVP coming up here, actually. I mean, he's had a good year, and the NL MVP, besides Goldschmidt, is up for grabs too. But yeah, I think I understand where you're coming from with the Mets, but I'm still on the Dodgers right now. I mean, they got 3 all-star pitchers with Anderson, Kershaw, Gonsolin. I mean, they're the best pitching team in the MLB, and they're every category. They're top 5, top 10. Like that team's just stacked. I mean, you got Mookie and then Bellinger. Again, you don't know. You hope you get like the good Cody Bellinger, and lately he's been pretty dang good. So got Freddie Freeman. It's just a stacked roster as well. But no, I could see the pitching staff coming back healthy for the Mets will be a huge key for the second half of the season.
And continuing with the pitching staff, I think just an underrated guy this year has been Edwin Diaz.
Yeah,
I think he is easily a top 3 reliever in Major League Baseball right now.
Yep.
Him being able to come in late in games and close it out and get the save is awesome. What I don't think people understand is that the Mets have the second highest to the Dodgers, second highest run differential.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For a long time, we've seen the Mets struggle on offense a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We especially, even going back 1 or 2 years ago, you'd have DeGrom on the mound and they'd be losing 1-0. Like there was just no run support. But now they're starting to put it together. They have a great pitching staff right now with Chris Bassett, Max Scherzer. DeGrom's going to be coming back. Edwin Diaz coming out of the bullpen, and then offense is starting to hum. Like you said, Pete Alonso is a dark horse MVP candidate in the National League. Francisco Lindor is showing, reminiscence of his Cleveland days.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a fun NL to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree. The NL is going to be definitely, for the pennant at least, the most competitive race as of right now. Because like we said in the AL, the Yankees are just leaps and bounds above everybody right now. But that NL pennant's going to come down to the last month. Yeah, and it's going to be, and I mean, both the Dodgers and I feel like both the Dodgers and the Mets are potentially going to be looking at another trade for a starting pitcher to get in that rotation too. And like both teams are already stacked at pitcher. Don't get me wrong, but like a guy like that, like Castillo for the Reds coming, that could be a big pickup for whoever gets him if they do trade him.
And then, just going back to the Mets and the Dodgers, something that I've kind of noticed is that most of the time, obviously the Dodgers are really good and they're blowing, they're winning a ton of games.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, it seems like the Dodgers seem to find themselves in situations where they lose games that they should win. And even going back a couple nights ago, it always seems like the Mets always find a way to pull one out.
Yeah. 100%. And like I've been watching the Dodgers a little bit more than usual, but it's games like they can't beat the Rockies sometimes. I don't think they beat the Pirates yet this year. Like series like that you as a top team shouldn't lose. I mean, those are the ones that kind of raise some eyebrows, Yeah.
All right. So those are our picks for the NL pennant.
Exactly.
So moving on, we're going to talk about the Cy Young. This is another department where we differ. When it comes to the AL Cy Young Award, who do you have?
I got Verlander. I mean, he's looking like he did in Detroit this year. Like he's going that far back right now. And he's just one pitcher you see on your schedule that just gives you nightmares. Like, excuse me, automatically nightmares. And having to play them all the time, I'm just glad we have an ace in Robbie Ray that can kind of hang with Verlander a little bit. But I mean, 12 wins, 1.84 ERA, 13 quality starts. I think quality starts is a very underrated stat because I mean there's if you can get your starter into the 6th, 7th inning, and then you're picking one bullpen guy usually every inning after that. I mean, it's just a big advantage for rest for those guys. And I just think he makes those Astros so tough to beat, especially when it comes later in the season. And striking guys out 108 Ks. I mean, I think he's looked very good. I think it's the best we've seen him in a long time.
Yeah. He's definitely the best he's been since, another underrated thing talking about Verlander is the fact that he's coming off of Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
Like this is the best he's looked since he's come out of Detroit.
Yeah. And that's incredible. I mean, the guy doesn't seem to age at the moment. He looked like in the last few years before that, it looked like maybe it was his time to kind of think about shutting her down a little bit, then next thing you know, he's getting argued to be a Cy Young candidate. It's amazing.
Yeah. So my pick for the AL is Shane McClanahan out of Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And I understand that a lot of guys, when it comes to arguing the difference between players, a lot of guys don't like talking about stats, right?
Yeah.
But however, in baseball, and especially as a pitcher, I think stats are your resume.
I agree. That's true.
And when it comes to stats, McClanahan leads the league in almost every significant category.
100%.
Whether it be volume stats like strikeouts, leads the league in strikeouts, strikeout percentage, leads the league in strikeout percentage, leads the league in ERA. He leads the league in opponent batting average and opponent OPS.
Yeah.
And he's come out with 10 wins under his belt in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that's like Tampa Bay has been quietly very good this year. And that's a big reason why like not everybody's talking about maybe McClanahan as much as they should. Because he's just kind of flying under the radar, having a great year. Same with the Rays. I mean, they're gonna be there at the end of the season. Like they'll be in the race for a wild card.
It was funny. I just saw a tweet today from Jeff Passan saying that it was a Dusty Baker quote, and Dusty Baker was asked about Shane McClanahan, and Dusty Baker said, "Oh, I don't know who. I haven't seen him pitch. I haven't seen him pitch yet." Yeah. So Dusty Baker is probably going to get, he's going to be met with a surprise there.
I think so too, especially if we get a Rays and Astros series.
Yeah. And okay, so now moving on to the NL.
Yeah, who you got?
So NL, I think we agree on. It's going to be Sandy Alcantara.
Yeah.
When you look at the people that are in the NL Cy Young race, excuse me. When you look at the people that are in the NL Cy Young race, no one really pops. No one really pops as a guy who can take the lead. But whenever you can go 9-4 as a pitcher with the Miami Marlins, I'm going to look at it. And so I went back and forth between him and Tony Gonsolin, and I decided to go with Alcantara because of the lower ERA and the lower OPS. That was kind of the main. Those when you look at a pitcher, those are the two stats. So those
are the key stats right there.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah. How many runs do you give up, and how far do you let the other team hit the ball? How often do you let them get on base?
Yeah, the only reason that I think they would look a different way instead of giving it to him is the fact that the Marlins good enough for it to matter. Like, and that's terrible to say. Like, don't get me wrong, because he has had a great outstate. Like he's the favorite right now. Like odds-wise favorite right now. But I mean, it's hard not to look at Gonsolin being 11-0. But again, he's playing for the Dodgers with all that offense, all that. Like he's got all the tools behind him to be able to be 11-0. And I don't know. I've been back and forth too. I think one of these two is probably going to go out there and just have to claim it later in the year, and that's what it's going to have to be. I mean, one was just going to dominate down the stretch.
And like you mentioned, one of the reasons why I went with Alcantara is the fact that when you look at the Marlins offense, I have the stats right here. 24th in runs scored, bottom third in batting average, and 27th in OPS. And you're coming out with a 9-4 record with no run support, and then you compare, the run support that Tony Gonsolin can have with such a stacked lineup and MVP candidates hitting at the top of the order.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely 123 strikeouts too. It's just he's doing everything. I mean, he's doing everything he can. Like, the hard part is it's like he has to keep the opponent to 0 runs, or else it might not matter. It's a tough situation for him to be in.
Yep. Yeah, if the Marlins offense can't pick him up, I think Tony Gonsolin might be winning the NL Cy Young at the end of the day.
Yep.
But as of right now, if you're just looking at it right now, halfway through the season at the All-Star break, I think Alcantara deserves it.
Yeah, I agree. I think he does. I think he does. He definitely he gets the nod right now. I mean, I love Tony. I love watching Gonsolin pitch, but I think it's back and forth. I'm still back and forth.
So now we're going quickly here. Moving on to the big stuff. The MVP candidates so far at the All-Star break.
Yep.
For the AL, who's your pick?
Aaron Judge. He's just, I mean, everywhere you look, you see Aaron Judge. And yeah, a lot of that is he's playing for the Yankees, biggest market, biggest payroll. But he's been head and shoulders above everybody hitting statistic out there, in my opinion. I mean, he's found a way to be a star on a team full of them. Like, he's the guy everybody talks about for the Yankees, and they have all-star, and I think that says a lot because you got to stand out and
in a contract year.
Yeah. He might not be a Yankee next year, and that is insane.
Which is because he's probably, I haven't looked at, you're the odds guy, but yeah. I haven't looked at the AL MVP odds, but he's more than likely the odds on favorite.
No, that leads me into my next topic. Shohei Ohtani is your new favorite.
Shohei Ohtani,
the MVP in the AL. And Shohei Ohtani is an incredible baseball player and does everything he can for the Angels to win because he has to. And so does Mike Trout. But I don't think in a year they're having this year that either of them should be in the MVP conversation. And like I said, I love watching both of them. They're both great, but I don't know if the team not being that good I think it makes it even harder to argue for that. Mm-hmm. They're the two best players in baseball, arguably, but does that matter?
See, I don't think it's arguably. I think the Angels do have the two best players in baseball right now. They have a generational talent in Mike Trout, who is realistically the best player of our generation.
Yep.
And then we have Shohei Ohtani, who is doing things that Babe Ruth didn't even do.
Yeah, it's
when you talk about Shohei, he's a Cy Young candidate.
Yeah,
coming out of the AL. Yeah, and he's his own run support.
Yeah, he's doing. I mean, he's the DH and a pitcher for the AL this tomorrow and the All-Star game. Like, there's no one else. Like, no one else can do that. No. And I understand the push to give him this award and everything like that, but it's just, for me, I value your team winning, and it is true they do win when he's on the mound. They win when he's given run support, but I don't know. I think he can't do anymore. But Aaron Judge is he's done everything he's had to do to get the Yankees to win when they need a big hit. He's done it. It seems like every few weeks he has a walk-off hit or it's just he's stepped up and he's done the things that he needed to do to win.
Yeah. And then going back to our discussion about Shohei and Trout, I think the deciding factor for me was when the Angels went on that huge losing streak.
Yeah.
And they were just hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
They've been, it's not like they've been, out of the lineup all year.
No, they've been playing.
Yeah. They were hiding in plain sight during one of the largest losing streaks, actually the largest losing streak this season.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And the last time you see if you see an Angel clip pop up anymore, it's the fight with the Mariners. And then it talks about that sense. And ever since, it's been one team's benefited from it seems like, and the other team has plummeted off the face of the earth for a little bit.
No one that's plummeted off the face of the earth has been the Angels.
And they have, I mean, their lineup is obviously probably by Mike Trout and Shohei alone better than the Mariners, but it's just crazy to me. I don't know. I just don't think either of them can, like you said, that in a losing streak, they didn't get talked about. They're just there. It sucks for them because they're just there right now.
Yeah. So this is probably the most controversial take that will be in this video.
Yeah.
So I did not go the recreational traditional route of picking Aaron Judge as my AL MVP this year.
You had 3 recreational routes you could have gone with: Trout, Shohei, and Judge.
Yeah. I went with Yordan Alvarez. And the reason is because I think, and I'm looking at stats that back it up, I think when it comes to being a complete hitter, and people are going to listen to that, they're going to roll their eyes. But as far as being a complete hitter goes, Yordan Alvarez has been better than Aaron Judge this year in nearly every advanced metric. He has a lower strikeout percentage. He has a higher walk rate. He has a higher extra base hit rate, and he essentially has the same home run percentage. Yeah. And the reason I'm talking about percentages and rates so much is because he hasn't had as many plate appearances this year.
Yeah.
And so
he got hurt there for a little bit.
Yes. And the thing is, he's still been producing.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hurt for a part of the year.
Yeah.
And then you continue. And so again, the reason I'm talking about rates and percentages is for every given opportunity that Yordan Alvarez has had, he's outperforming Aaron Judge, except in the home run rate.
Yeah.
Percentage.
Yeah.
And he still is only 4 or 5 behind.
Yeah, I think it's right around there.
I think he's at 26 home runs right now.
Yeah, I do think it's right around there.
And so he leads the league in slugging, OPS, win probability added, which is a stat that not a lot of people know about, and then runs created per game. So even though the volume isn't there, I think that he's having a better season than Aaron Judge.
I mean, he's had a great year, and I think there's definitely an argument for him to be in the conversation. Just, I don't know, it's hard to be a DH mostly and be in the conversation because he has to do everything right at the plate and he has so far. That's the only worry is what if he gets in a cold streak, then what happens? Is he out then?
And so this is the thing. So a lot of the arguments for, when looking at Aaron Judge versus Yordan Alvarez is, Aaron Judge plays in the field more. Yordan Alvarez has been very limited in the outfield this year.
Yeah.
Right. But he has been uber productive
while
at the plate. Yeah. And so I looked into this, and even though Judge plays more in the field, he has a significantly lower defensive runs saved at -2 compared to Yordan Alvarez while playing in the field. And Yordan Alvarez is +3. And what that stat says is that while playing in the field, Judge is allowing 2 more runs than the average, and Yordan Alvarez is helping. It's basically plus minus in back.
100%. No, I get what you're saying.
And so the sheer volume makes it appear that Judge might be a better defender, and he very well might be, but at this season, he has not been.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's definitely a fair argument. They can't say they're not going to give it to a DH because, I mean, technically Shohei, when he's not pitching, is a DH.
Yeah,
they've done it before. They gave it to DH, and there's probably more in the history. Don't get me wrong, but recent history as well. I'm trying to go after right there, and it's definitely going to come down to how well like he just has to, if he keeps playing like keeps playing like this, it's just if one of them goes down a little bit, then it's gonna be a big question mark who's gonna win it then. But I mean, yeah, like you're saying about the home runs, Judge has 33, Schwarber 29, Riley 27, and Jordan with 26. So he's right. I mean, 7 behind. He's got 268 appearances, and Judge has 338.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah,
I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from here. But do you want to move on to the NL MVP?
I do.
All right, you go ahead.
Yeah. So NL MVP I think is pretty clear cut. It's Paul Goldschmidt out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
He leads the league in hits, runs, batting average, OBP, slugging, OPS, all these things, on top of being a very valuable asset on defense. He's a 4-time Gold Glover. There's defensive upside while he's playing in the field. I just think it's an easy pick.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, he's kind of also quietly going about his business too. Another guy that's just been very, very good and just not, I don't know, for some reason they're not, like, they're above 500. They're in content, like they're doing everything right. For some reason, no one's really talking about the Cardinals lately, besides Albert Pujols being in the home run derby tonight. But
it's weird because St. Louis is within a game of the NL Central.
Yeah,
they're right there when it comes to leading their division. Yeah. So I don't understand how a guy who leads the league in so many significant categories, doesn't get enough attention.
It's unbelievable, actually, if we're being honest. He's been so good. Yeah. So good. I remember the beginning of the season, he didn't go on like a 20-game hit streak or something like that early this year. I mean,
it was ridiculous.
It's just he's been dominant from day one this year, and I don't see anything changing for him. I mean, he's such a veteran that I don't think anything's going to change there.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, he's second in the MLB for hits right now.
He's batting well over 300.
Yeah.
So
70 RBIs. I mean, he only 339 plate appearances, 83 strikeouts. That's solid. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Especially in like the age of basically you're hitting a home run or striking out right now, it seems.
Yeah,
it's pretty dang solid.
Yeah, we're coming out of the era of just making contact.
Yeah, no, that's long gone. That's long gone. I mean, you see it, like, at least for me, I obviously watch Mariners all the time. You see Julio Rodriguez as a rookie. Every time he's at the plate, he swings that thing as hard as he can. Like, he's not trying to get on base. And like when he's on base, he's been effective stealing. But I mean, it seems like everybody coming up is just trying to get the power. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's gonna be great. A great rest of the year.
Yeah, so speaking of Julio Rodriguez, we're running out of time here, but real quick, let's talk about this Mariners streak, because I know you're dying. You're dying to talk about.
This has been these last 14 games have been something that, I mean, never thought would happen. Like, I've obviously said Mariners are going to make the playoffs this year. Haven't seen it since 2001. Been saying that since probably 2005. So, I mean, there's been a lot of talk for me about the Mariners going to make the playoffs, and they started out just not great. And we've had Hanger hurt, just injuries all over the place. We can't get healthy. Kyle Lewis, the 2020 Rookie of the Year, still can't get back. He came back for a day, hit a home run and left. And like, it's been tough. It's a tough go at the start of the year. So this 14-game winning streak has been something that has just been amazing. We have the Rookie of the Year, Julio Rodriguez, on our team, in my opinion. And then I saw a stat yesterday that made me very hopeful, and I'm very worried about how hopeful I am. But there's 3 teams before the Mariners that have gone to the All-Star break with 10-plus game win streaks. All have been to the World Series, and 2 of them have won it. So, I mean, Mariners are used to being on the wrong side of history. But I mean, come on. This has got to be it, right? Like, this has got to be the time we do it. We're right there at the wild card right now. I mean, oh, come on.
You know what? You're talking to a guy whose favorite team has been to the World Series once since '86, and
I'd trade you anything for that right now. You've never been once.
You know what? I hope it. I hope he finds your happiness because
I mean, I'm going to a game in late August for Ichiro's jersey retirement. I just want them to be in the wild card hunt by then. If they're in the wild card by then and not like contention, and I'm at a game, that is everything I've dreamed of growing up. Like that's what like I don't like this stat. I'm like, yeah, if we get to the World Series, great. Like that'd be awesome. All right, now I just want to get in the playoffs. You know? I want Mitch Haniger's quote from earlier this year saying, sorry for the language, but it's time to end this fucking streak as a quote, the beginning of the year in the hype video. I want that to be true. I want it to be over. I want it to be over. It's been tough.
Oh, man. And quick plug real quick. Noah just mentioned that he's going to Ichiro's retirement ceremony. BarnBurner Sports will be live at that ceremony. So we will be covering that, and Noah will be wearing his Ichiro jersey, and he will be live reporting at that.
I can't wait. No, it's gonna be great. Real quick, I know you're probably gonna say Pete Alonso, but any home run derby predictions here? Quickly.
I do think you look at Pete Alonso, he's won it back-to-back years. The dude just has a feel for this thing. And 100%. I have a great feeling that Pete Alonso and Julio Rodriguez are going to be facing each other in the second round.
I think that might be the best matchup of the night because, I mean, like I said, Julio swings hard. I can't wait till this ball is slowing down where he could just swing hard all night long. I do think Pete's going to find a way to do it again. Yeah. Or the thing is, if him and Julio go deep, they can do a swing off and everything. That guy that's on the other side that's going to be in the championship might have one of those two tired, and it's going to be tough. But no, those guys, I think one of those two are going to do it.
Yeah. All I know is that Albert Pujols isn't making out of the first round. That's all I know.
No way. That is a joke. That's a joke.
See,
I love Pujols. Don't get me wrong. He's done a lot for the game. He deserves to be. I like this addition throwing one old timer into the All-Star game. I'm fine with that. But when you like the home run derby is arguably the most fun part about the All-Star weekend or week, I guess you could say. Well, I just don't understand throwing somebody like him at his age with 6 home runs right now into that spot.
You see, I respect the hell out of all the greats in baseball, especially all the vets that are playing right now. They're going to go down as first ballot Hall of Famers, like Albert Pujols. But there's no reason why you send a pity invite to Albert Pujols during All-Star Week and just have him lose in the first round of the home run derby. I don't get it.
Tonight's the event that everybody watches the most.
Exactly.
Like I remember when I was on ESPN, you have Chris Berman announcing and it's back gone. And I mean, stuff like that. That's more. I don't remember one All-Star game, if I'm being frank. Like I remember the home run derby.
Exactly. Well, shoot, man, that was a great talk. And
100%.
And that was a great first appearance from BarnBurner Sports' very own Noah Ambuehl. So Noah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing this.
This is awesome.
Yeah, and everybody listening, go follow Noah on his normal Twitter account and on the BarnBurner Bets account at BarnBurner Bets. He's been on a hot streak lately, and you're gonna want to tune in for that. So
yeah, we're gonna try to keep it going here. We're still figuring out baseball a little bit, but we've had some rough days and some good days. That's how it goes.
That's why they play 162 games.
Yep. If I was anybody right now, I'd probably put a lot of money on the Astros July 22nd against the Mariners because Verlander's been a problem for us.
Oh man. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you for everything that you do.
Thanks for having me on the team, man. I'm excited to keep this thing going and keep doing these podcasts a little bit at a time.
For sure, man. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you later.